Mr. Hitesh Vaidya is the Director of National Institute of Urban Affairs (NIUA). NIUA is widely considered as a think tank of MOHUA, Government of India. Shri Hitesh Vaidya has more than 20 years of broad-based urban development policy, project formulation implementation, and project management experience on mainly UN, World Bank, US Agency for International Development assignments. The areas he has been associated are urban development, urban governance, and urban infrastructure management. Poverty alleviation has been an integral component in all his projects. Prior to joining NIUA, he was country representative of UN Habitat India. He was intentionally involved in providing capacity assistance to India's urban ecosystem to roll out urban flagship missions in India. His strength lies in developing institutional arrangements and project implementation strategies through facilitating effective convergence and coordination with various stakeholders.
Good afternoon. Thank you for inviting me to this transformational discourse in architecture planning on urban villages. I thank Urban Village Charitable Trust for organizing this symposium. I see a lot of experts uh, uh, and academia practitioners taking part of this symposium. I congratulate all the experts and speakers uh, to start discussing on one of the topic which has been very little researched uh, or talked about in the country. We all talk about urban centers uh, as catalyst of economic growth and their significance in contribution of national income, employment. We also talk about India is on its way to transition towards being more urban through economic growth, and belief that India lives in villages and not in cities is changing quite speedily. Um, this new trend actually calls for more attention towards urban policies, and while the broader framework of our policy discourse is that cities no longer remain a reflection of poverty and bottlenecks, but should become the symbols of efficiency, speed, and scale. And we should look at urbanization as an opportunity rather than a threat. I think overall the policy discourse has been on three broad outputs, and one is improve urban living conditions, second is increased urban investments, and third is better management and governance. While we are looking up all these issues, I think one of the area which has got little less attention is on urban villages and how we are integrating them in our uh, in our planning process through our legislative frameworks. Uh, you know, there is an estimate that by 2030, 1,000 villages will urbanize and 26 small cities will grow to more than 1 million people. uh, Connecting rural areas to cities through better transportation and education networks will allow the urban growth phenomena to benefit a large group of people dominated by the rural people. Uh, we have also seen these urban villages nestled within a host city at the fringes. We are looking at different planning zones and the contradiction in the regulation of these plans, particularly relating to urban villages, and how do you really improve their, mm, you know, retain their unique character, as well as how do they play a vital supportive role for cities. These are some of the thoughts I think this group has to think about. I think the deliberations which take place today will really contribute to this discourse of mainstreaming urban villages in the planning process. I particularly, there are a lot of experts. I don't want to get into the technical issues at this moment of time, but I think I'll focus on how public participation uh, in this whole area can be, how we can involve citizens, how we ensure citizens' participation in the whole planning process. Second is how uh, you know we really focus on decentralized decision making uh, there, and third is how do we really look at inclusive platforms to have a discussion on these things. I'm an IUA is having a discussion with the Urban Village Charitable Trust, and we are thinking of three broad areas to start with. One is we need to really strengthen the research grid on urban villages, and come up with the bringing the issues and the contextual research so that we can start bring these issues on a conversation table so we can start discussing about it. Second is we want to have a larger youth talking about it. So as our NIUS program on collaboration between academy and research, we would start looking at a lot of research coming by the students on urban villages and their mainstreaming them in the planning process. Third is how do we equip practitioners, existing practitioners towards this topic. We are planning to come up with a using a national urban learning platform where some of those modules can be developed, which not only orient the practitioners but also the elected representatives, where they start appreciating the need and the rationale for integrating urban villages within the planning process of the cities while keeping their unique characters in place. I think some of these areas we definitely need to demonstrate and make sure that uh, while we are talking of making a city work, they become a part of that making a city work process. I'll stop here, and I congratulate once again the organizers of to come up with this symposium, start calling for papers on this, and I wish the deliberations which come out of this symposium will actually be a part of some kind of a policy brief or some the process which Government of India is talking about, what should be the city 2047, or what urban we want to leave for the next generation will contribute to that discourse also. With that, thank you very much for inviting me here. I wish you all the success.